Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of GizTube. I am your host, Dirt, and this is my co-host, Nadia.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. This channel is all about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, the band, and we are going on a virtual tour with them through their United States and Canada 2024 tour. Today, we are on their Boston, Massachusetts show on August 19th. It was at the stage at Suffolk Downs.
Massachusetts and show is kind of hard to say back to back.
Massachusetts show. Anyways, we were not there, so we watched this on their YouTube. Interesting stage, very close to an airport.
Yeah.
You saw planes flying by pretty much the whole time. I saw at least two go by from the perspective we had on their last song.
Which I wondered how that affected the sound. Like, you're at the show and all of a sudden this airplane starts coming over you, like...
It looked like they were very close. So if you were at that Boston show, please let us know in the comments what it was like being that close to an airport. Other than that, it looked like a stage in a big field, no balcony or anything, open air. It was raining the whole time, but still, awesome show. So we're going to run down some of our favorite moments and the set list right here. Nadia, what do you say? Should we get into the set list?
I think we should dive into the set list.
Okay.
Take us there, Dirt.
All right, here is the set list for you. Up first, we got Gandhi. Now, this was the first time on this tour that they had brought out their synth table, which Nathan. I don't think it's been coined Nathan yet. It hasn't been personified yet as Nathan.
At this point in time, we all know it's Nathan. Yeah, my thoughts on Gandhi. I like the song. It was funny. There were some moments where there were some lyric mess ups, but all in all, good song. What's
new? Lyric mess ups is part of Giz.
It's part of it.
Yeah, you could tell this was the first time they were a little nervous breaking out the table.
But as Joey says, you can only you always got to rip off the Band-Aid once.
Yes, exactly. This is the set list says Changes was on it, and if you go to the Apple Music, Change. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Change was next. But they only played part of this, kind of in between their other synth stuff. I liked it. I wish I could have gotten the full scope of the song, but for what we got, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really my input. I just love that song, so it left me wanting more.
Yes,
more change.
Give us more change. Next up, they transitioned right into Extinction. Joey went on the guitar. That is just such a sick setup. I love when Joey gets on the guitar while some of them are still on the synth table. They transitioned straight from Extinction. Some members stayed on the synth table. Nathan, some moved off, but then they went to the kind of the classic, the Grim Reaper with,
I love this song
with
so
Ambi
much.
on the vocals. Once again, it is always I think it's a crowd favorite. It gets the crowd hype. It gets me hype. And it's just a song they crush live. And it was cool to see them transition. It felt like kind of a way out of the synth table into their normal set as they were doing something they had played before. But yeah, overall, I was pretty impressed with the, ripping the Band-Aid off of the synth table.
So impressed every time. I mean, and I love that they just are not scared to just do new things. They're not, they're like, hey, this might not be perfect, but we're going to do it. And they rock it every time. It's not really about the perfection. It's just about the energy and the inspiration that it brings.
Exactly.
Crushed
it.
it.
So Grim Reaper was an awesome song. Great start to the show already. Next up, they transitioned into some of their heavy metal stuff. We got Supercell. Good opener from we got Supercell off PDA, and then we went to a special moment in the show, Perihelion, which was not on the original set list, but we'll talk about this moment more, I'm sure. But they had a member from the audience, Timmy, come up and play Joey's part on the guitar for Perihelion, and absolutely crushed it.
Best version of Perihelion I've ever heard.
Yeah, so sick. And then they followed that one up with Hell, which is just. It's too good live. I mean, Hell is just sick. It just gets
the second it starts, you're sucked in. Yeah.
Into Hell.
Yeah.
Into
and that's
Hell.
Hell's where we want to be.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Then they finished up their metal segment with Gila Monster off of Petrodragonic Apocalypse. This is another one that I think just envelops the crowd and the energy of the song, gets everyone fist pumping. Gila.
And Ambi's part in Gila Monster is one of my favorite. It's my favorite part of the whole song. I love it.
Next, we got a song off of Ice Death Planets, Mushrooms, Lungs, Lava.
That's it.
That's it. I got it. Okay,
yes,
Magma. And next, they went on the set list through their selection of songs off their newest album or their latest album, B741, these are still pretty new, being played live.
Yeah, if I memory serves, I think the album came out that month. It came out in August.
Okay.
I think, if memory serves correct. So, yeah, this album at this point in time was like less than a month old.
So we got Daily Blues, we got Field of Vision, and then we got the live debut of the title track, Flight B741, which everyone always points out, written by Lucas. Thank you, Lukey.
Thank you, Lukey. That's like one of my favorite albums. One of my favorite tracks off of this album.
Yeah, and for that being the live debut, they had never played that one before. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I know it'll come up several times in later shows where it's not as clean, but I think they really kind of embraced it this first time, and I think it came across really well. And then they finished that B741 segment with Sad Pilot, another kind of just more classic song, but still just groovy like and hooky.
The selection of B741 songs that they put in this set list, I feel like, we're all very, hooky and like, I don't know, easy to kind of follow and get engaged with.
Yes.
You know?
After that, we went into some non-gone tracks with Wah Wah and the Road Train. Wah Wah was like, I think, over 12 minutes. Could have been close to 15. Leading into that, we got two closers, Hypertension, and then Float Along, Fill Your Lungs. I mean,
Hypertension's always a journey, right? And we love it. We love the journey that song takes us on every single time.
Yeah, I did think they were a little loose on coming out of some of the choruses and going into the jams with Hypertension and vice versa, but they don't play that one a whole lot. And honestly, you kind of get lost in the in-between segments, so also, I can forgive them for their little hiccups here and there.
That's why we love this band, right?
Yeah, because they don't give a fuck.
They're just having fun on stage. We're having fun listening. Like, it's a whole group experience, and like it's kind of an experiment you're all doing together, you know?
Yeah, watch the jellyfish there.
Sorry.
Yes.
I got very excited about that.
So now we're going to get into some of our favorite moments of the set and the show. First off, Nadia, what would you say out of that set list we just ran through were your top songs or your favorite songs from that set?
Man, I think this is like the hardest question to answer ever. Always. It's always going to be the hardest part. But I chose 3 that just stood out to me. Perihelion for reasons we will get into later. That's not typically a song that stands out to me, but obviously at this show there was a big moment with that. Hell, it's hard not to say Hell because, like I said, the second that song starts playing, like everything else just drops away and you're just in hell. And it's great. And then third, Float Along, Fill Your Lungs. That's another one. That's just a classic. Like, that's all time one of my favorite Giz songs. So it's hard not to include that one.
So yeah, my top 3 songs from the show were Magma, and this is one where I feel a little biased. I just love Magma live, and I feel like it's almost different every time. They bring in some parts of, like, they played it before. There might be a little section that they kind of re-jam on, but this Magma, I feel like it had some twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, and it always takes me there. Magma always takes me there. Second, I had Gila Monster. I thought this Gila Monster really, like, up the ante. The crowd was just like moshing to it.
The crowd was great.
Moshing vertically. Crowd was great. Just, they were rocking out. And I feel like it's one that just gets the crowd going. And then third, I had Wah Wah. I thought this was a pretty distinct Wah Wah. Wah, 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 wah. Moving on from that, what do you think, would you say is your least favorite song for your show, from the show?
All right, disclaimer. Don't not like any of the songs.
And I'm not saying bad song. I just said least favorite.
So this is actually also challenging as well. But I picked Road Train. Here's the reason.
Okay, give us the reason.
That's just because, honestly, Road Train is kind of, it's not, I don't know, it doesn't ever really stand out to me. It's not really one of my favorite songs by them. And a lot of these that are on this list are some of my favorite songs. So that's really it. It's just my bias. I don't think they did anything that made it not great. It's just, I prefer some of the other songs more.
I think that's a good reason. And I think those are going to be the reasons pretty much why I had my pick, which is Supercell. Nothing bad about the song as they performed it at the show, just kind of in terms of all the metal songs I would hear. That one is typically lower on my list and kind of seems to get lost in kind of the clutter of the other like metal songs that they play within a show.
What about Soup for Sale?
Soup for Sale.
Soup for Sale.
Next, we're going to go on what did you think was the best moment from the show? This one seemed like It had a pretty easy answer. But Nadia, I will let you tell it.
Yes. So this show had a very clear high moment, clear best moment. If you haven't watched the show, I'll give you just a very brief rundown. There was a fan in the crowd named Timmy. Timmy has a big sign talking about his good friend Joey, who just passed away that year. He was a big Giz fan. He was supposed to be at the show with Timmy, but he tragically passed away in an avalanche, which is just awful and so sad. Joey, King Giz Joey, sees the sign from stage, and on the sign it says that the late Joey's favorite song was Perihelion, and his friend Timmy had learned it on guitar, and he wants to come on stage and play Joey's part to Perihelion with the band. Giz Joey sees it, reads the sign, is like, yes. He just says yes.
I think he's just like, fuck yeah, we got to make that happen. Yeah.
So Timmy gets to go on stage. Perihelion isn't even on the set list. They just fit this, they just like take this moment and embrace it and just move forward with it. And yeah, Timmy gets to play Perihelion on Joey's guitar with the whole band in honor of his late friend Joey. And it was just, I cried the whole time. That's the second song of Infest the Rat's Nest that's made me cry live. We should know that.
She always cries on Self-Immolate, so just be prepared for that. The whole scenario surrounding this one where he was honoring his friends, and then he absolutely rocked Joey's guitar part on Perihelion. Honestly, shout out to Timmy, because Timmy, you were ready for your moment, man. Like, you were spot on. You did it, yeah. Like, he had a little tribute.
That's cool. But yeah, and super cool of King Giz too, to just like shift and like let this moment happen, because it wasn't planned, it wasn't on, like they weren't even going to play that song that night. So yeah, obviously that was the best moment of the show.
Moment of the show, yeah, hands down. Come on, that's gonna win. What, Nadia, would you say was your favorite banter of the show?
Well, Dirt, here's another reason to love going to see King Giz live. Their banter. They're just so charismatic on stage. They're very, you want to be their, you feel like you are their friends.
You feel like you are their friends.
You want to be their friends, but you feel like you kind of are. The best banter moment, I think, from this show was when Ambi started imitating Joey's "Light 'em up, T." And first of all, he kind of nailed it. It sounded very similar to Joey. And then Ambi went into this kind of monologue of he was like, no one really understands what we're saying. We can just talk, and then "Light 'em up, T."
Yep.
And then
like
just
throw
would say
that in there.
"Light 'em up, T," and everyone just was like, woo.
Light 'em up T in reference to their light guy, Terrence, who can turn the lights up on the audience for them to see. They always say, like, no one can understand us because we're Australian and we're in America. But and it's hard at times.
Sometimes
but
it's hard, yeah.
You can pick it up. That was one of my favorite banters, too. I had that listed. And we already mentioned the other one. I loved when Joey said, in regards to the synth table, that sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off the first time. And yeah. I think they finally did it. Fourth show in, they got the synth table out where they ripped the Band-Aid off, and I think it was a big success. Yeah. What was your favorite outfit that a band member was wearing during the show?
Joey, arms. That's all I got.
Okay, so Nadia over here loves Joey's arms. They're very tatted. They're very chiseled.
Well, Joey was just
they're very good at guitar.
This sleeveless, like, top, and yeah, I liked being able to see his arms. Oh, I think our jellyfish friend is tapping out.
He's still here. He's still here for now. Okay. He can't make it through a marathon show. I don't think.
He's letting us know though that he's close to being tapped out.
Yeah, but Joey looking sexy as usual. Mine kind of has to do with Joey, but I loved Ambi's shirt, which he got from a previous show, a bootleg shirt. The Walkie Jake Joey shirt. I don't know who made that, but yeah, it's a great one. We would love some, but I loved that he was wearing it for this show.
So here's a special segment now. We're going to focus on what Cookie was drinking.
What was Cookie drinking during the show? If you've watched any of the shows or been to the shows, you know that the Giz members love to partake of a little beverage or two during the show. And specifically, we've noticed that Cookie usually always has a beverage by his synth boards over there. So, what was Cookie drinking during the show?
His choice of drink for this Boston show was Bud Light.
Bud Light was the drink.
Can.
The blue can Bud Light was the drink of the show. I also saw Joey have at least one at some point, so maybe that's just what everyone was drinking that night. But specifically, Cookie was sipping on the Bud Light.
Shout out, Cookie!
Okay, overall, kind of wrapping it up, who would you say was your like most valuable King Giz member of this show? And I don't even know what that means really, but what would, like, when you watch the show, who would you think really stood out to you as one of the band members for that show?
Well, for this specific one, I chose Joey because of his arms. No, I'm just kidding. I chose Joey.
You would, yes.
I chose Joey for him letting Timmy come up and play his guitar on stage. Like, and really that encompasses the whole band, because the whole band really accepted him in and, you know, let him have that moment. But I guess I just chose Joey because he had to hand over his guitar and he just had to run around on stage and, you know, find something else to do.
Yeah, I loved how Joey kind of interacted while Timmy was playing his guitar, from running around on stage to dancing to like doing singing, vocals with Timmy, and like even showing Timmy when to like sing and to like Perihelion. Yeah, mine kind of goes along with that, and I know this just for this show, but I was gonna give it to Timmy. Timmy, I think, was my honorable MVP of the show this night. For one, he got up there and had the balls to do that and to like go for it. I wonder how nervous he was, even like holding that sign out.
He probably like blacked out. You know, it's probably one of those moments where you're just like in a zone.
Thank God it's on YouTube and they live streamed it for us to watch for here on out. But yeah, just he crushed that guitar part, which would be so hard to play live, let alone at your house, let alone up on stage with the band. So yeah, Timmy was kind of my MVP band member of the night. Okay, overall, Nadia, this was a great show. 4th show of the tour. They're just getting started. What would be your overall ranking of this show in particular?
You know what, Dirt? For this show in Boston, I'm going to give this one 42 Shrimp Reapers.
No way. Yes. Holy shit. Did you hear that?
42 Shrimp Reapers for this show in Boston. I mean, that's a pretty good ranking, I would say.
That is amazing. I did love this set list. No microtonal tonight. Another note that I wanted to mention, but overall, I love the mixes in the metal, some of the B741. You can't have it all. And we got Nathan finally for the first time. So for this show, I'm going to give it 17 road trains.
17 road
17 road trains.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
that's unheard of.
That's what we think of the show. Anyways, we'll be here for the rest of the tour. Come along. Let us know your thoughts. If you were at the show, please let us know, one, how the airplane sounded. What was it like seeing Timmy up there live? Did anyone catch the set list? Can you send us a photo of you at the show? Who knows? But yeah, this is GizTube.
This is GizTube. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Dirt. Good talking along with you.
Good work. We'll see you later. Peace out.
Vomit coffin.
Boom.
Vomit coffin.